So, as you guys probably know, I just came back from Japan from my first ever solo trip on the other side of the planet, and that was such a cool experience. And it makes me realize two things. Firstly, I want to travel way, way more because it was just such a great experience. It was so enjoyable. I met so much great people. I learned so much things about myself and about others and people, cultures, and just overall it was so cool to do. And secondly, I want to give as much people as possible the, the possibility to travel the world because I think that's something that can entirely change the way you live your life and entirely change the way you see things, the way you grow and think as a person. I need to help as much people as possible travel by giving them advice and helping them. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. It's not the type of content that I usually do, but I don't really care about what I'm doing on this channel. I just want to share personal experiences, and if I can give advice and help people, that's even better. So in total, I spent around 2,000 euros for this trip, which is, I think, not that much to go 3 weeks to Japan. And firstly, you need to use Skyscanner to find your flights or Google Flight or whatever, but always book the cheapest flight because that's what's going to cost you the most money. I saw too much people spend 1,000 to 2,000 on flight tickets, and I was like, that's completely stupid. I spent around 620 euros for the way, like way and back, for the round trip, and it was not as cheap as I could get, but I booked it like last minute. So first thing, you need to use that type of website that help you get like um, cheaper flight tickets because that's what's going to cost you a lot of money. Then when you're in the country, you can either stay at hostels, which is gonna cost you like almost nothing. I mean, in Japan it's a bit expensive, but if you go to like any other Asian country or any like South American country, it's gonna cost way less, which is the great point when you're like American or European or Australian. We have so much like buying power, we have so much money compared to the other countries, which is then when we go to another country, we can really afford the lifestyle, like even a better lifestyle than we have when we're in our own country. So that's so cool. But if you don't have a lot of money, if you want to save money traveling, that's what I did because I'm fucking broke and I'm trying to make my money up so I don't have to do that. But I mean, it's still cool. You gotta stay at hostels, guest house. You can even do like, go on Worldpackers and you have like um, opportunities that allows you to like work for free accommodation and food. That means you're basically paying nothing. Um, it's I don't remember the name, but like you basically work just to stay, and then you have time to visit everything. Like you work maybe 10 or 15 hours a week, and so basically you meet a lot of people, and I think that's very cool. I think that's called like a volunteer program or something. So you can do that too. There's a lot of way you can save money. Firstly, you can book things in advance, or you can like sleep outside, whatever. But I don't really recommend sleeping outside, right? So yeah, I stay at hostels, which cost like the less amount of money. But if you go to like any other Asian country, I think you can book your own like Airbnb or hotel because it costs way less in other country. Japan is pretty expensive when it comes to like accommodations and sleeping. But yeah, secondly, for food, you have so much like you just gotta eat local, right? If you start eating like you eat when you're in Europe or whatever, it's gonna cost way more money easily. But if you eat like street food, local food, you go to small restaurants. For me, it costed about like maybe 5 euros for a total meal, maybe 6 euros, which is actually nothing. And there's a lot of way you can save money by doing that. Secondly, uh, don't do like every activities, because for me, most of them are not worth it. for me, the best experiences you're gonna get when you're in another country is by meeting new people, talking to as much people as possible, maybe going party a little bit so you can meet even more people. And that's what I did for like most, I think most of my, yeah, most of the time I was there. I went partying and I tried to meet as much people as possible. Like I did football meetups. You can use this app called Meetups. Um, and yeah, and in terms of transport, I think the best way to save when it comes to transport is by like taking the bus instead of like trains. Like you take night bus, and that way you save like 1 day of hotel that you don't sleep, like one night at a hotel that you don't pay, and you save maybe even more money because you're not paying either for a plane ticket or for like a flight ticket. So I think that's the best way to do it, but it's not very comfortable, it's not very good. So that's only if you want to save money, right? Because I really don't recommend you do that. But yeah, uh, that's all I think. What allowed me to save money is the way that I just always went outside, I walked, and I tried to see the things for myself. Like I think the best way to visit the country is not visiting it as like a tourist, but really try to immerse yourself in the culture, in the restaurants, with the people, and you just like get lost in the city, get lost somewhere, and that way, I think that's how you really see how people lives there. And for me, Japan, especially the non-touristic side of Japan, especially in the big cities, because I only did like the big cities. I just did Kamakura, Mount Fuji, and Nara, which are big touristic too. But the best things to see in almost every country, I think, is the non-touristic part. Like, yeah, the touristic part are good, but that's not really the places where you're gonna learn about how these people live, and you're not really learning anything because it's mostly tourists. You don't have a good time because it's crowded. There's no room for you to move freely. And I think what I loved the most was being in like, those little neighborhoods when there's like small buildings. You only see a few people working their dogs or coming back home from work with some food or bringing the kids back home, and it was like such a wonderful experience because people were tended to be way more friendly because they're not used to see people like tourists in that area. And I think that's what I was looking for, like real connection with people, that are not used to see you, because not only you're trying to understand them, but they're also trying to understand you. And most of the time they're like very happy that you come in their country to visit it, because for them it's like a proud moment, because they love the country. For most of them, that's what I saw in Japan, and I think in most country in the world people love their country. It's only in Europe that we're told to like hate our country for some reason. But in most country in the world, I'm pretty sure if you come to them and you're like, I really want to visit your country, it looks very good, I really appreciate it here, like, just be honest, right? They're gonna be so happy that you as a tourist are looking for like a real experience in their country, and they're gonna try to give you advice, they're gonna try to help you, maybe even like give you direction if you need. And yeah, those people are really cool. Also, when you party, you meet so much cool people too. I mean, that's what I thought about Japan. I met so much cool people partying. You also met a lot of strangers, like tourists like you from all around the world, which is also cool because that means that not only you make friends in Japan, but you make friends all around the world. And I think it applies in almost every country, that when you visit it, you make so much friends that you pretty much have friends everywhere. Like I met people from like Pakistan, Thailand, Philippines, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, China, even people from Europe, even people from France. Like that was cool. I met people that I would never met if I stayed here. And I think for that, it just gives you so much opportunity and so much room to move around after that. For me, you just need to travel once to like be addicted for the rest of your life. Right now, the only focus, the only priority I have is to make money so I can travel again, is to be financially free so I can travel all year round if I want. So yeah, I'd say traveling is like the best thing you should do. It's probably the best way to invest your money because firstly you will come back, but I think it will come back in like better ways because you're gonna get like social relationship, you're gonna get friends, you're gonna meet people that may offer you opportunities. You may be able to find work in another place, and firstly you really open your mind to different culture, different architectures, different like people. And I think it's great because like I tended to be like a bit closed on some cultures because I was like I don't really understand and it's not really common for me. And actually like right now there's not a single country in the world that I don't see myself visit, right? And that's just a one trip affected me, right? Only one. So imagine when I will have visited like 50 countries, maybe like just 15 countries, man. I will have learned so much and I will, my comfort zone will be just so big. Because when I went to Japan, I was scared to talk to people and I was not really extroverted, right? I didn't want to go to talk to people and I was kind of like closed on myself. And right now, I have no difficulties. I don't struggle talking to people. And it's like normal for me. So that I think that's like a good investment. Even if I pay like 2,000 euros for that, I met so much people and now I'm able to talk to anybody I want and create a connection and be real, you know, be a real person. And also, I feel like I don't feel like I feel better about what I'm doing right now because I met people that did like a variety of things, you know, and it changes for where I am because most people here they're kind of close-minded, like they only have basic work. You don't even have anything crazy to tell. So just basic existence, I guess, which is cool for them if they're happy. But I don't really learn anything from that because that's what I've been in since the beginning of my life. Like I always been there. I always see like those basics things, and just moving out for a few time and discovering new things, a new way on how society could work was really interesting. Yeah, so that's why you guys should travel. That's why you guys should follow me because I'm gonna try and better my English and give some advice if you need. If you have any question about like Japan or whatever, you can come to my Instagram or you can ask directly in the comments. I'm gonna try to answer you and give you as much detail as possible because I really want to help people travel because I think that's like the best thing in the world. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I see you guys in another video.